On the evening of December 18, 2023, a 6.2 magnitude earthquake struck Jishishan County in Linxia Prefecture, Gansu Province. The quake resulted in extensive casualties and the destruction of dozens of thousands of homes in the affected area. However, the following day, as people anxiously awaited updates on the disaster, a social media influencer named Dong Shishuan with 3 million followers sparked controversy by voicing a different viewpoint, catapulting herself into the center of a public opinion storm.
There's been an earthquake in Gansu, right? The Gansu earthquake is 800 to 1,000 kilometers away from me. What does it have to do with me? Can you please not stir things up on my page? I'm begging you, we've been arguing over an earthquake for over 10 minutes. When I said, what does the Gansu earthquake have to do with me? I thought it was a perfectly normal thing to say. I don't have any family or friends in Gansu.
The actions of Dong Shishuan incited public outrage. Her social media account was inundated by angry netizens, with many commenting, such behavior should be outright banned. Joking about a disaster is utterly heartless, and this is unforgivable. While others suffer from natural disasters, she makes light of their plight. Despite a minority of detached observers, the majority rallied to support the disaster area with donations and supplies. The region experienced deep winter conditions, with temperatures plummeting to -15 degrees Celsius, and many victims forced to sleep on the streets and lacking basic necessities. Extreme weather outerwear, Canada Goose's official Weibo account, announced on December 21st that it had partnered with the Shanghai Charity Foundation to donate over 2,000 down jackets and other cold weather gear, with a message saying, "We offer our modest help to support the earthquake area in Gansu and overcome this difficulty together." Unexpectedly, this act of charity turned into an opportunity for profit by others. Days after the Donate Down Jacket event, a netizen revealed on social media that the Canada Goose down jackets meant for earthquake relief in Gansu were being sold on a second-hand trading platform. On December 26th, a seller on Alibaba's marketplace Idle Fish, located in Shanghai and with an excellent Sesame credit rating, listed the Gansu Earthquake Relief Canada Goose jackets for 8,500 yuan each, approximately $1,200. The seller's post claimed, "These are special Earthquake Relief Canada Goose jackets. As seen in the video, only a few hundred available, first come first served, no washing label, no tags, no returns or exchanges." Additionally, another batch of down jackets donated to the Gansu disaster area was discovered in a marketplace. The product packaging bag actually had the address and contact details of the disaster relief center. Following the exposure of this news, officials rapidly responded to quell the public sentiment. Both the Linxia Civil Affairs Bureau and the Shanghai Charity Foundation declared the information false. Guo, the director of the Linxia State Publicity Department, stated that these supplies had not yet been distributed. However, many netizens remain skeptical. One posted, "The official claims that the donated Canada Goose down jackets will definitely reach the earthquake victims. Fine, after some time we can all visit the victims' homes to verify, counting them one by one to see how many there actually are." Others speculated 99.9% won't reach the victims. It's also possible that some non-victims received them and then sold them on second-hand platforms. Families of government officials might not lack such clothes, but they do like money. Some believe the jackets sold on Idle Fish might be fakes, arguing that genuine ones were more likely to be distributed to officials. Yet others thought the jackets on Idle Fish could be real, and the ones sent to the disaster area fake. Such incidents are not unprecedented. The rule of the Chinese Communist Party has been riddled with corruption, and the selling of relief materials during disasters has happened multiple times before. In August of last year, a devastating flood in Zhuozhou City, Hebei Province, caused severe casualties. Viral videos showed areas in the city submerged up to 12 meters deep, with many rural areas completely inundated, and some villages flooded up to the third floor, leading to signal interruption. The internet was flooded with numerous pleas for help and missing persons reports. In response, the Beijing Red Cross launched an online donation project through the yipei.com platform to support flood victims in Hebei. However, this initiative turned into a mockery. Many netizens refused to donate, leaving comments like "Beware of telecom fraud" in a sarcastic tone. Others donated just 0.01 yuan, seen as a deliberate attempt to embarrass the Red Cross. This was not due to a lack of compassion among the people. The Chinese Red Cross is nurtured, funded, and controlled by the Chinese Communist Party. In the past, only a tiny fraction of the social donations received by the Chinese Red Cross actually reached the victims, leading many Chinese to refrain from donating through the Red Cross. Surprisingly, not only the Chinese Red Cross but also the rescue teams, seen as saviors, were exposed for corrupt practices during the Zhuozhou flood disaster in August 2023. A netizen complained online that they had difficulty donating 15,000 yuan worth of supplies to the Zhuozhou government's relief center. Frustrated, they directly took the supplies to an official shelter for disaster victims set up in a vocational education center in Zhuozhou, only to find officials there engaging in staged PR photo sessions. The netizen then decided to deliver the supplies to a volunteer command center outside a local roast duck restaurant. On August 4th, videos surfaced online showing chaos at this command center. Rescue teams from other areas and the local Blue Sky rescue team were in a fierce conflict, accusing the team of hoarding and selling the donated supplies, even attacking other rescue team members. A video commentator explained that the BSR team took away all the fuel for sale, leaving other teams without fuel to operate. They were also accused of having previously sold lifeboats and motors. These videos went viral in mainland China's WeChat circles. Netizens condemned the local rescue teams for neglecting the disaster victims, stressing that these supplies were meant to save lives. If local governments profited immensely from the earthquake and flood disasters, officials made even more during the 3-year zero-COVID policy. In April 2022, Shanghai had been under lockdown for a month, leaving many residents without supplies or the ability to stock up on provisions. However, neighborhood committees took advantage of this critical situation to hoard and sell supplies. On April 25th, the Baoshan district of Shanghai reported that Chujing City, Yunnan province, had donated a batch of vegetables and agricultural products, totaling 50 tons in over 7,600 boxes, each weighing 6.5 kilograms. The district's Epidemic Prevention Office decided to distribute these donated goods to tenants of long-term rental apartments and other groups living in Zhangmiao Street. By April 23rd, all supplies had been distributed. However, according to investigations, a person in charge of Xinjiang Neiranji apartment, Mr. Zhang, did not distribute the 190 boxes of donated supplies he received to the tenants as required. Instead, he sold them for profit. On April 8th, someone purchased a gift package online that should have been distributed for free to the residents of Baoshan district. This incident ignited public outrage, with Shanghai residents condemning the more pervasive corruption at all levels of the Chinese Communist Party. State media later explained that the issue arose due to a mistake by the supply delivery unit, Lianshang Enterprise Development. They mistakenly treated the supplies as commercial goods, leading to their sale in the market. Mr. Zhang has since been arrested. However, netizens aren't convinced by the government's explanation, suspecting that it's a diversion tactic to protect officials involved at various levels. A WeChat article writer, Tong Gen, criticized, saying, "First, they're covering up the direct culprits of the reselling of supplies. These culprits aren't the deliverers from an upstream company, but the downstream price setters and sellers who verified, priced, and sold the free pandemic gift packages. The direct culprits have been completely shielded. Everyone knows that anyone daring to resell pandemic relief materials would be caught and heavily penalized. This would tarnish the officials' achievements. Therefore, without the distribution of interests and permission of officials at various levels, who would dare to touch such profits? The price setters and sellers, the direct culprits, are so audacious because they're backed by officials at various levels. Second, why are the direct culprits, the online price setters and sellers of pandemic relief materials, untouchable? Because they could expose the officials behind them. Third, the government's silence supports the scapegoats. The mistake in transportation and wholesale by Lianshang Enterprise Development led to an apology directed solely at the government, with no acknowledgement to the consumers. This assured demeanor suggests they have substantial support behind them. In Zhangqiao Town, Shanghai, residents also protested against residential neighborhood personnel profiting from the pandemic by hoarding and selling relief materials at high prices. Similar incidents occurred in Jing'an district, where individuals hoarded and sold vegetables and eggs at inflated prices, with total sales exceeding 1.75 million yuan and illegal profits of over 1.5 million yuan. If food is the magic mirror for corrupt officials in Shanghai, then in Wuhan, a simple mask reflects the myriad faces of humanity. Some unexpectedly became middlemen in international mask trade with millions of orders, while others hoarded and resold masks at high prices for profit. As the epicenter of the COVID-19 outbreak, Wuhan's hospitals frequently reported urgent shortages of medical protective supplies. Therefore, masks donated from within China and abroad were continuously sent to Wuhan in Hubei province. However, suspiciously, not all these donated masks reached the people. Some were sold to other provinces by unscrupulous individuals. According to Sichuan Mobile News, on the morning of February 17, 2020, someone near Yuelu District in Changsha City, Hunan, was selling large quantities of masks labeled for sale only in Hubei province. Similarly, a buyer in Nanning, Guangxi, found that the masks they purchased were shipped from Wuhan. The packaging box of the masks was marked with rescue supplies written in black ink. This discovery raised buyers' concerns, with questions arising. They asked, the whole of China is donating masks to Wuhan, yet Wuhan is selling them, and if local production is sufficient, why do volunteers from other regions need to send the same masks to Wuhan? Many citizens expressed their loss of trust in the government, stating they would no longer donate through government channels. In early February, on a cold day, several medical personnel anxiously waited outside a massive convention center in Wuhan to receive donated medical supplies. The center, as large as 17 football fields, was filled with boxes, masks, protective clothing, and other protective gear. A doctor from Hankou Hospital in Wuhan said he went to the warehouse because a donor had sent 10,000 N95 masks to their hospital. However, when he arrived, the masks had been redirected elsewhere, and he was given substandard supplies by the Red Cross. An activist scrutinized data released by the Hubei Province Red Cross, discovering that the organization donated 36,000 masks to 2 hospitals that were not treating COVID-19. A video circulated online showing a man in the Red Cross warehouse in Wuhan loading 3M masks into a government-plated vehicle. On January 30th, the Red Cross stated that of the over $56 million raised in donations, only 7.6 million had been used. This revelation further fueled public anger and increased the criticism towards the Red Cross. The corruption within the vast bureaucratic apparatus of the Chinese Communist Party is no secret. A research report published by the National Bureau of Economic Research in October 2023 revealed widespread corruption among Chinese officials, with higher-level officials in more privileged institutions being more corrupt. While China's economic market faces collapse and the savings of ordinary people diminish, officials within the CCP government continue to engage in power, money, and sexual transactions. In the recent cases of reselling supplies, it's clear that certain individuals are abusing their significant influence without any restraint. They are shamelessly siphoning off state and community resources, as well as the hard-earned and critical funds of the populace. Their actions are overt and unapologetic, mirroring the behavior of tyrants and thieves. Commentators point out that this phenomenon mainly occurs among a few power holders in those government departments managing people, finances, materials, and economics. They use and abuse their power in recruitment, allocation, land distribution, contracting infrastructure projects, and approving loans, opening back doors, engaging in corruption and bribery, or reselling supplies and encroaching on others' interests. All of these activities are related to power and increasingly concentrated in the hands of a few powerful individuals. Moreover, these powerful individuals use their power for various indirect transactions. For example, today, I use your power to do me a favor, giving you benefits. Tomorrow, you use my power to solve your problems, offering me a thanks. This mutual utilization and exchange of power for money and money for power is seen as an equivalent exchange, fair in its benefits, achieving a real win-win situation. Furthermore, data shows that officials spend hundreds of billions of yuan annually on food, entertaining, gifting, and traveling abroad using public funds. Moreover, everything CCP officials do is legitimized with respectable labels and supported by superiors at all levels. As commentators put it, their strategies are so varied and unpredictable. According to incomplete estimates by relevant departments, hundreds of billions of yuan are embezzled and bribed annually. Recently, China's state assets have suffered massive losses, with assets worth billions of yuan being drained or flowing out every day. Much of this loss is due to bureaucratic neglect and mismanagement. Professor Dali Yang from the University of Chicago, an expert in political science, states that China's robust economic growth over the past 40-plus years has created immense wealth and opportunities, along with ample opportunities for rent-seeking and wealth generation through power. He believes that China's development and extensive corruption cases are interrelated. He argues that without institutional constraints on such power, the CCP's anti-corruption efforts would be useless. Dr. Wang Juntao, a Chinese political scientist, also believes that the systemic and institutional corruption within the CCP must be addressed through political system reform. Otherwise, Even if the CCP adopts harsh punishments like those used by Emperor Zhu Yuanzhang of the Ming Dynasty, it will not eradicate the corruption stemming from the unrestrained power of Chinese officials.